everyone, I'm Jessica and I'm with Shift, the browser that streamlines everything you do online. Today, I'm sitting down with financial wellness expert Jen Scharien to learn about how to use financial wellness to achieve your goals. Jen, tell us a bit about yourself.
Yeah, thank you so much, Jessica, and thank you for having me here today to talk about my favorite topic. I am Jen Scharien, CEO and founder of FinLotus Accounting, where we focus on financial wellness. I am deeply passionate about personal finance. I've actually always wanted to be an entrepreneur. Ever since my grade 5 career fair, my 3 options were entrepreneur, dog breeder, or author. Quickly ruled out dog breeder once I learned a little bit more about that. Author remains to be told, but entrepreneur really stuck. My husband and I, we brainstormed a bunch of really cool ideas, and then I realized, I was like, oh my gosh, I know what I'm passionate about, and I know what my superpower is, and it's budgeting. But that's something that a lot of people don't enjoy doing, so I can use this superpower to help them make their lives better and transform their lives through personal finance and financial wellness. So that's a little bit about how I, came to where I am and how FinLotus came into existence.
Well, thank you so much for being here today. I'm going to dive right in. So tell me, what exactly is financial wellness and what are some common misconceptions about it?
So when I was first creating FinLotus, I was trying to figure out what type of finance field I fit into. Financial planning didn't really fit, financial coaching didn't really fit, advice, a lot of these terms didn't quite fit. And so what I realized, I'm like, part of what happens with personal finance or the accounting industry or finance industry generally is it doesn't always make us feel good about our money. And so I realized that was a really important place for me to focus, was how we feel about our money. And that actually resonated more with the wellness space for me than it did with the finance space. So when I would go to Google it, I found a definition, and that was financial wellness is a state of being in which we feel like we can meet our current and our future financial obligations, where we feel secure in our finances and our financial future, and that we are empowered to make choices that let us enjoy life. Financial wellness can reduce stress and worry about money, which has a positive impact on our overall mental and physical well-being. And when I saw that definition, it just really resonated with me, because that is more of what it's about. It's about a feeling. It's very internal to who we are and how we express and live our lives, and so much less about, what's your investment portfolio look like. However, personal finance generally, and therefore financial wellness when brought into that, has a lot of misconceptions in that the advice that's out there feels like it's one size fits all, but personal finance it's so personal, and people don't always know how to make it apply directly to them, in particular without feeling any shame or guilt or judgment around their money. And that is not what financial wellness is about at all. That's a wonderful starting point to just notice what's going on there, but the focus is on making us feel better about our finances. People also feel like there's just so much to be done. Like, personal finance can feel very overwhelming. So there's a misconception, I think, too, around starting to engage with your finances means you have a long, hard road ahead, and you're going to be told what not to do. Whereas financial wellness is really about making incremental improvements to your finances, and even more importantly, your mindset around money.
As a financial wellness expert, you talk a lot about the energy of money. What does that mean?
Where I like to focus in around the energy of money is not about money as a currency, but really almost the psychological side of money and the energy that creates within us. So a lot of people experience money from a place of there's never enough. I don't have enough, or I should be doing things differently. I'm not making enough choices about my money, or I'm overspending. And the energy in our body really shifts when we see money that way and when we interact with it that way. Whereas financial wellness and what I try and work on with people is a different way to have energy around money, which is this abundance mindset and an idea that money is a tool to empower the life we want to live, that it creates opportunities for us, that when we start to engage with our money, we can really make our lives better and we can improve the relationships with others in our lives. So that abundance mindset and this positive energy around money, it starts to fill us up from the inside out. And you can even see, like when I'm talking about money and an abundance, my posture is different, my energy is different. When we start thinking about money from a scarcity perspective, we start to shrink, and you can see it in our physicality, and you can recognize that that energy also isn't very healthy to keep in our body. It can lead to a lot of stress. So we try and move into this positive energy when we have that negativity and that scarcity mindset. It's hard to focus on what matters. It's hard to get excited about the choices that we're going to make because we have this visceral reaction and all we can focus on is this negative energy that's being created.
What are some ways that people can harness a positive energy of money and then leverage that?
A lot of it does come around mindset. So I think the first piece, because scarcity is quite prevalent, for many of us, it's where our mind goes initially. So just noticing that mindset's there, like noticing that voice that's yelling at you, that can be hugely powerful. And then we start to look at, okay, how do we move out of that? And those pieces are acknowledging where we're at, maybe even writing down some notes or even in a journal about what that looks like for you. And then moving into abundance is starting to think about what you really, how you want money to show up in your life.
Tell me, what role does financial wellness play in setting value-aligned goals?
Yeah, so value-aligned goals is one of the foundations to financial wellness. And this is really where I love everyone to get started. So getting clear on what you value. And this can look different for different people. Some people already know immediately what it is that they really value in life. For others, even for myself, I really like to do a visualization exercise. Nothing too elaborate, but even just sitting quietly for 5 to 10 minutes and thinking through what a perfect day looks like, where all the things you really love show up in that day. And then that starts to bring clarity to what it is you really value in life. Getting really clear on what those values are and then aligning your financial choices with them, that helps you feel empowered by your money choices. Quite often, if we're making choices that don't align with our values, we can feel it. We feel this friction around money. Or if our values end up being externally motivated, so if it's about how we or our lives appear to others, those aren't really sound values for building your finances around or building your life around. Whereas when they're values that are really true to who we are and how we want to live our lives, money enables us to do that more fully. And then from there, the next big piece is planning our financial goals. So figuring out what those big boulders are and that connect to our values and make them really come to life. And we can do that with short, medium, and long-term goals. So it might be in the short term, something like paying down debt or saving for a trip. And then we can think about longer-term goals. So whether that's maybe going back to school or taking a larger trip, buying a car or buying a house. So once we start to have a sense of how we bring our values to life through these goals and we write them down, you're actually 43% more likely to achieve your goals just by writing them down. And then once you have your financial goals written down, you can actually calculate what it is that you'll need. So when you know what it is, when you need it by, how much you need, you divide that by the amount, by the years until you need it, and then by 12 months, and you start to see how much you can put away each month to start saving towards those goals. And it starts to make them more tangible.
Yeah, I think that approach makes it feel like the goals themselves are not arbitrary, that they mean something and they're therefore a lot more achievable.
Yes, exactly. They become our North Star. There's also the way I like to reframe budgeting and financial goals is a lot of people think that having a budget is about saying no to the things you really want. But when you understand your values and your goals and you start planning your budget around that, it becomes, okay, what am I saying yes to?
Yeah, I think that connects well to the energy of money and shifting that thinking from, scarcity or negativity to a positive. What is this empowering me to be able to do versus what can't I do?
Yes,
I love that.
Exactly.
Lastly, financial wellness can be a bit of an intimidating topic for many people, myself included. What are some tips and tools that you recommend to get started?
Yeah, you bet. And it can be very intimidating. So I would say in terms of tips would be 3 things: getting clear on your values, where possible to even write them down, just starting to get the clarity on our values and starting to notice them and how they show up throughout our lives. The second one is getting those financial goals written down, calculated, and put some thought around, okay, are these connected to my values? Am I excited about these? Do they empower me to make choices with my finances? And start to see where you can start saving towards them. And I think third is starting to talk about money more. Sharing knowledge is incredibly powerful for ourselves and for others. And then in terms of tools, the one that's risen to the top for me is called Monarch Money. I really like the way they've structured their platform, and they do cash flow forecasting, which is a huge thing that I'm obsessed with, is that looking at how your money changes in the months coming up. There's a few books that I really love. One's called The Soul of Money. I believe it's by Lynn Twist. And that one is, especially if this concept of financial wellness resonates and these feelings around money, but it's not a how-to guide. It's about deepening your relationship with money and how you relate to money, how the world relates to money, really, and it's very good. The other one is the psychology of money. That one I found very fascinating. So if you're curious about how our brain works when it comes to money, and sort of the pieces that we've covered in this conversation today show up a little bit in that, that's a really good one as well. The last piece is FinLotus actually has an app that is in beta phase right now. Great. And there'll be a course coming out in the spring. So anyone who's interested in continuing their learning can sign up for our newsletter and get updates about that as they come up in the next few months as well.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much for joining us today, Jen. I know I'm already feeling more confident and comfortable thinking about money and talking about it. I hope everybody watching is ready to harness that positive energy of money and start tackling those goals.
Yeah,
thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me.
If you'd like to get started on your financial wellness journey with ease and organization, download Shift. Shift streamlines everything you do online, merging all of your apps and accounts into one intuitive window. Add your financial wellness apps to Shift to achieve your goals with ease and organization. Thanks for watching. Find the Shift download link in the description, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more interviews like this.